Hey, welcome. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on the world of finance and look at the hidden architecture of capital. It's the system that connects brilliant ideas with the money they need to actually change the world. And yeah, it might sound complicated, but we're going to break down the powerful engine that makes it all tick. So, our story starts with a character you probably recognize, the innovator. She has this world-changing idea, right? A plan for a new tech company that could revolutionize, well, everything. There's just one problem. She needs $1 million to even get started. And then on the other side of the planet, we've got our second character. He's a retiree. He's worked his entire life, saved up every penny he could, and now he just wants to put that nest egg to work so it can grow safely and take care of him. And here is the fundamental question, isn't it? You've got these incredible ideas over here and this big pool of savings over there. They desperately need each other, but how do they connect? How does a lifetime of savings in one country end up fueling a brilliant idea in another? Well, the answer is the great connector of our modern economy, financial institutions. They are the essential bridge, the matchmakers that make this whole system of innovation and growth even possible. So what's their main job? At the most basic level, they're intermediaries. Just think of them as the ultimate middlemen. They take all that extra cash from savers, like our retiree, and they channel it to the people who really need it, like our innovator. So how does this whole thing actually work? Let's trace the four-step journey your money takes. Because, spoiler alert, it never ever just sits in a vault somewhere. It's a constant loop. See, first, savers deposit their funds. Then, the institution pools all that capital together and manages it. Third, they lend that money out to innovators and businesses. And finally, the profits and interest from those loans flow all the way back to the original savers as returns. This cycle is literally the heartbeat of the economy, and it is always in motion. Now, financial institution is a pretty broad term. In reality, it's more like a whole team of specialists, and each one has a very specific job to do. So let's meet the key players. First up, the one you definitely know best, the commercial bank. This is your everyday financial partner. They're the most common, most accessible place for pretty much everyone, individuals and small businesses alike, helping us manage the day-to-day flow of money. And their business model? It's actually deceptively simple. It's all built on something called the interest rate spread. So they pay our retiree a little bit of interest on his savings, let's say 1%, and then they loan that exact same money to our innovator at a higher rate, maybe 5%. That 4% difference in the middle, that's the bank's profit. It's a simple idea that powers a massive, massive industry. And that simple profit model is what funds the absolute cornerstones of our financial lives. You know, the savings accounts we all have, the mortgages that let us buy homes, and the loans that help start our favorite local businesses. Okay, let's move on to the next player, because this is where things get bigger. Investment banks. These guys are a totally different beast. They are not for your everyday banking. No, they are the growth accelerators, specializing in huge, complex financial deals for major corporations. Their world is all high stakes. They engineer things called initial public offerings, or IPOs. That's when they turn a private company into a public one by selling its shares on the stock market. And they also orchestrate massive mergers, helping two giant companies combine into a single, more powerful one. Next up, we have the protectors of the system, insurance companies. Their job isn't to lend money for growth, but to make sure that growth doesn't get completely wiped out by some disaster. You can think of them as the guardrails of the economy. Just think about what they protect. Business interruption insurance means a fire won't bankrupt a company. Key person insurance protects the company from losing its visionary founder. I mean, in a world that's full of risk, they provide an absolutely crucial safety net. And now for our final key player, the brokerage firm. These are the institutions that give everyday people, like our retiree, a direct path to invest in the stock market. They are the wealth builders. And one of their most powerful tools is something called the mutual fund. So instead of you trying to bet all your money on one company, a mutual fund pools money from thousands of investors to buy a whole basket of stocks from all different sectors: tech, healthcare, energy, you name it. This whole strategy is about one powerful idea: diversification. By owning tiny little pieces of many different companies, you spread out your risk. So if one company struggles, the others can help balance it out. It's the financial version of not putting all your eggs in one basket. Okay, so with all this money moving around at lightning speed, you need rules. A system this powerful and interconnected absolutely requires some oversight to keep it stable and,
fair for everyone.
And that's the job of regulators. They're like the referees, auditing these institutions to make sure they're all playing by the rules. Their main goal is to protect consumers and to prevent the kind of financial disaster that can ripple across the entire global economy.
All right, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's put it all together with a quick little test, see if you can spot the right player for the job. So imagine a successful local brand. They're doing great, and now they are ready to go global. To do that, they want to sell shares of their company to investors all over the world for the very first time. Who do they call?
If you said an investment bank, you are absolutely right. They are the specialists in exactly this kind of move, the IPO, guiding a company from being privately owned to being publicly traded on the stock market.
And all of this brings us to one final thought. Whether it's sitting in a savings account, a retirement fund, or an insurance policy, your money is part of this massive interconnected system. It's never sleeping, it is always working. So the real question is, do you know where your money is working right now?